And we're just waiting. And here we are, NomadX, Facebook family, everyone out there, Friday afternoon here in Bali. And I'm here with Rhonda, and she already has a glass of wine. I love it. That's so fucking
Happy
freaking
hour.
cool. Happy hour time. That's awesome. Rhonda, welcome to the show. I
Thank
want to
you
give
so much.
introduction about you because you are such, oh my gosh, you're just like pure inspiration with you as a person, but with the Unstoppable family, with your husband, Brian, with your daughter, Hannah, and what you guys are doing for years and years and years and years and years. So we are really, really, really honored to have you here on the stream. So NomadX family in Europe, wake up, make sure to drop your questions in here, leave us a like, leave us a comment, and be super, super active because this is at least as good as Gary Vee, which we had at the beginning of the week. So freaking awesome. Rhonda, welcome to the show. I'm honored to have you here.
Thank you so much, Ali. I am so honored. Hello, everyone from around the world. We're both here in Bali, but I know many of you are making it, so it's so great to see you.
Awesome, awesome. Rhonda, let's start with you. Let's start with you as a person because your story is remarkable. Your story is inspiring. Just give us an introduction about yourself and tell us a little bit where you're coming from. What's the mission and the vision?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, again, guys, welcome. My name is Rhonda Swan. I'm the Unstoppable Mama of the Unstoppable family. And my family's actually been traveling around the world for the last 12 full years. I was a big corporate executive wearing all the special, thinking that life, the American dream was what it was supposed to be, and decided to quit cold turkey corporate because I watched an interview with Steve Jobs that said, if you are going to be savvy and ahead of the market, you've got to learn how to leverage the internet. And this is before social media was around. And so coming, someone with an MBA, I said, okay, look, I'm going to look into this. Sure enough, I saw some ways to start leveraging the online space. So I was one of the very first women that generated over $1 million working exclusively online through Google Ads. I learned Google Ads.
Wow.
Right? Yeah, and retired my husband, Brian, who's a robotics engineer. And then we started building our business. I've built now our Unstoppable branding agency over the last 15 years, 12 of those we've been traveling. And in the last, Ali, in the last 28 months, we have launched 142 new brands, products, and services to the world, and probably launched now over thousands, but just the last 24 months alone. So we've been rocking it while we've been traveling, fully digital and fully nomadic before it was even a thing.
That's Rhonda. I'm missing the words. There is so much you guys bring to the table. There is so much inspiration, and numbers don't lie. You just proved it to us, and I think everyone knows you out there. And even more inspiring that you guys do that fully nomadic, fully online. And at the moment, you guys are based in Bali. I think that's how we get connected, and that's how we get to know each other. So it's just like it's really, really inspiring. I wanna do a little side turn because now we heard about you, we heard about a little bit about Brian, but that's not all. There is a number 3 in the Unstoppable family, and that's your daughter Hannah. And she's how old is she now? 13.
She's 13 now.
She's 13 now.
Yeah, we left California when she was 1 year old. And many might think, oh, how lucky you had an online business and you probably had tons of money and that's why you took your daughter. It was actually quite opposite. And I think it's really appropriate now to really share this, is that most don't know this. Brian and I invested really heavily in the 07, 08 and lost everything in the financial crisis. And so just like many people are right now going, what am I going to do? I don't know, have a way to make money. I'm losing everything. We did lose everything. And so Hanley was born, and about 6 months later, we realized the developer that we'd invested with had taken everything. So we fire saled everything we owned and left with $12,862 left to our name, with a vision and a vow to never put our daughter into daycare. And so that was really part of our why and our mission. And so Hanalei has grown up traveling around the world. She's been a third world country kid, if you will, really a minority everywhere she's lived. And what she saw, though, is differences of culture and people and us just constantly working and creating and providing value. And so now at the age of 7, we actually asked her, we were on the beaches of Costa Rica, and we said, Hanalei, instead of asking you, what do you want to be when you grow up, which most kids, have a, canned answer like lawyer and, doctor, because that's what their parents want them to say. She's like, what do I want to be now? Let's see. I think I want to be a fashion designer. And we said, all right, did you know you could literally do that right now? And she's like, well, how? She's like, all of a sudden she clicked on her and she went, wait, I know how. Can I borrow $20? And she borrows $20 from us, buys thread, needle, makes these keychains, little cute keychains that are made of fruit. And she started selling them to my clients at my events. And she made about $300 and gave me my $20 back and said, hey, Mom, can I reinvest this? Can I buy more fabric? And literally, this is an 8-year-old girl, 7 into 8. And at 8 years old, she started her first company. She had her first collection. She is a fashion designer. She became one because she believed it. We told her she could do it now. And now, let's see, she's 13 and her collection's been showcased all over the world. She's turned down a $30 million offer from a Shark Tank investor. And her company, HS Styles, is a sustainable, eco-friendly fashion label that contributes back to the world. And, now she's a 6-figure plus earner at the age of 13.
That's so amazing. What a trio! What an unstoppable family. I've been like literally like, yeah, I've been like super fascinated by following you, by following Brian, and by following Hannah. We had Brian here on the stream a few months ago. So one day we want to have Hannah as well, because she is crazy inspiring. So very congratulations. You guys did an amazing job. You did absolutely an amazing job. And this is exactly how it should be. Cool, Rhonda. But there is another reason, because we not just want to inspire today, which you obviously do just by being present here. As a title for that stream today, we choose to say the Queen of Branding. And this is what you are. And let's dive a little bit into branding, because there is one thing I'm so fascinated by you guys. I know you guys made it, multiple 7 figures, many businesses, companies, like literally you could just lie by the beach, sipping cocktails and do absolutely nothing, but you are online all the time. You're live, you're podcasting, you're streaming, you get the PR, you get the media. What does branding mean to you these days?
Yeah, it's a really good question. I think branding truly it's everything, right? It comes down to how are we separating ourselves into the marketplace. But for me, I always claim that we create sexy brands that turn them into profit-making machines, right? So for me, a brand is not just, something that you are representative. It's a value that you can offer, a story that you can tell in a way that you can help other people. And that translates then into currency, right? You give value, get it back. And so for us, and the reason why I became so passionate about brand development, telling your story and actually creating a unique, sexy brand that no one can compete with. So branding to me is about making your competitors irrelevant, right? I have no one I compete with, no one, because no one does what I can do, right? So when our family started to travel, this was now 12 years ago this November, there was no social media. So how in the heck are we going to be known? How am I going to do this internet thing that Steve Jobs said I should do, right? How am I going to actually do it? And so we started telling a story. This is when we started doing video and uploading it. YouTube had just came out. And so we started just telling the story. What I realized is that people are obviously buying from people, but they wanted someone that was so unique. Like, not many people can handle my personality. It's pretty wild and unstoppable. So we realized, in order for us, for someone to say, I want to work with them, we had to tell the story. We had to have a personality, a value. But more importantly, we had to show up and be positioned in the marketplace as the expert that they should work with, right? And so that's what branding really means to me. It's how your client perceives you, and how well you show up for them is how much they're willing to pay for your services. So if we look at a few things, like I tell my clients, I work directly with clients that are experts, speakers, authors, and entrepreneurs, right? Mainly online entrepreneurs. And, I said, look, we've got to hit 4 key elements in order to build a sexy brand. And that is your image obviously has to be clean, clear, and concise. You can't look like you came from necessarily Fiverr, right? 99 Designs. Like your Nomadics, it's an epic logo, right? It's got to have representation, but that's the lowest in the value ladder, right? So I look at, if we were to look at, create a coordinate, right? Here on the left side going up, that is our price. And on the bottom is the value, right? So at the bottom here, logos are right down here, but then next it goes to your message, right? So we're going up the value ladder, your message, and your message has to be or pass the grunt test. All right. Now, I know this is going to sound a little weird. Everyone's like, okay, what is this lady talking about? Hear me out.
What is going on?
Right? Hear me out. Think about this. Let's imagine there is a caveman sitting next to you, and that caveman's got $10,000 that they can pay for your services. And you have to tell them exactly what is it that I do, and they've got to understand it and say, yes, I want that. See, most people, their message doesn't pass the grunt test. So when I explain to myself, to you, or to my caveman, nice to meet you, my name is Rhonda Swan, I'm the CEO of the Installment Branding Agency, where we create sexy brands and turn them into profit-making machines through high-quality branding, PR, and media, getting our clients published in Forbes, Entrepreneur, and Inc. magazine. Now, if you're a caveman, would you go and grunt and say, I understand what she does?
Yes, I do.
Right?
I do. I do. I got it. Spot on. Spot on. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the grunt test. So what happens, most entrepreneurs, they're like, well, I kind of do this. I'm a coach and I save people's lives and I'm transformational and I do marketing and I help people make money. Everyone's like, too much mental bandwidth between our ears causes a client or a customer to go, I'm out. It doesn't pass the grunt test. The caveman turns away and they go and find someone that picks up the pieces where you left off, that says, I will help you make a wheel right now. Here's my 10K, right? So you've got to be able to explain what you do and solve the problem and articulate it better than your competitors. That's what passes the grunt test. That's where the messaging and the value ladder starts to increase. It's the offer. It's how and what you do, right?
Right.
So now third is, in the value ladder, is your strategy. Obviously, you talked about this, Ali, and you're great at it as well. Your strategy has to be omnipresent. That means right now we're in Facebook group, but I know very well that very soon this live stream is going to be on Instagram, it's going to be on stories, it's going to be on IGTV, it's going to be on LinkedIn, it's going to be on YouTube, it's going to be in an email, on a website, as a blog post, everywhere. Right? So
you're right.
We've got to make sure that if our strategy isn't omnipresent, then we've got to get a clear strategy. Now, typically we only use one piece of content. It turns it into over 168 pieces, or 21 pieces turned into 168, right? So that's the value out of the biggest and the most important right now. What's winning? If you're cool that I share it, I don't always share this with everyone, but because this is a private group, if you guys are open to it, I'm going to share with you the number one form of marketing that not only increases your ROI, increases your credibility, and increases your profitability, and allows and causes clients to pull out their credit card and say yes. It's literally like almost like a key. It's like a secret key to unlocking exactly what people and what all entrepreneurs want. And so you guys can use this as long as you use it for good. All right, we have to agree to that.
All right, give it to us.
Yeah, right. I know. I don't have a lot of time. So fast, trying to give you guys everything I got. Right?
That's so cool.
Is PR and media. Now, most people are going to listen to that and go, "Well, PR and media. Well, I'm not necessarily there for TV yet. I'm not good enough, or I can't get into certain levels of PR." This is one thing I want you to look at. If you are an entrepreneur or an expert that has done something for someone else and you're not adding in PR and media into your value ladder, you're missing out on one of the number one best ways in forms of marketing. In fact, Facebook HQ sent out a release back in April that said, because people are asking, do I drop my ad accounts? Do I stop marketing? Do I stop investing in, you know, my budget? And Facebook said, invest in PR. And I want you to think about it. They said, invest in good PR, like Forbes magazine, Inc. magazine, Entrepreneur magazine, because over in the last 3 months, there was over 74 million eyeballs every month on Forbes magazine every day or every month. Now there's 187 million online. Because what happened, right? Right? People started using online. I love Forbes. It's one of my #1, you know, credibility pieces for positioning my brand and things that I just really love to read. And now what we've been able to do is really leverage Tier 1, which is these high-level magazines, as our marketing piece. Because imagine when you show someone, yeah, I've been featured in Forbes magazine, you're going to look a lot different than that guy that's been around even for 10 years, right? He might do the same thing as you did, but if you can say, or you have an As Seen On banner that says I was on ABC, you know, Fox, I was on, you know, Forbes, Entrepreneur. Disrupt is awesome. I know that I've seen you in Disrupt.
Yeah.
A great new publication. Think about it. It's a third-party validation. Someone else is telling your story. You're no longer on the top of the soapbox going, check me out with a megaphone. Look how great I am. Look at my offers. Right? You've got
this is so true.
Right? You've got someone else saying how great you are. It's even bigger than a testimonial because those run out. It's bigger than referrals because those run out. Stuff like this in PR and media stays forever. And now, because I'm a marketer, now we realize we can start leveraging this stuff as marketing material. So I know you only got a couple of minutes, so I'm going to slow down there, and so we can.
That's okay. We expand for 5 more minutes because this is pure value, and I want us to stretch that a bit. This is so cool, and thank you so much for sharing. So keep going.
Yeah,
this is amazing. This is amazing.
Okay, cool. So this is what's been happening right now. Our clients, we've been able to feature. I've probably featured 72 people now in the last 3 months alone, and most are going, I don't qualify. Well, you used to not be able to because it used to cost over $100,000 and $350,000 to get in print magazine, right? No way was anyone able or available to get in these type of publications. But what we've done now, because our company has a very connected relationship with some of these publications, the contributors in Tier 1 magazines, because we're marketers, we now are leveraging and we're helping the contributors and the publishers out. Because what happens, the publishers want high quality content, right? But the public wants real humans. They're sick of hearing that Snoop Dogg freaking, you know, sold $1 billion. Like, that's awesome. Not for me, right?
Right.
You know what I mean? But I'll be darned if I listen to Ollie, who built a business, who did it like this. He made 6 figures or 7 figures online as a nomad.
Yeah. Right.
So I think we're delayed, so I'm trying not.
No, that's okay. Keep going. Keep going.
Okay,
We're a little bit delayed, but
anyone can say stop. So if you think about it, think about the story. Like, they want to know this. So what we've done is we've positioned the publication and said, look, the people want real life stories, and we proved it. We started putting our clients that have done great things and putting them in featured articles, or putting their advice with, like, next to Deepak Chopra or next to Tim Ferriss, like have a really killer topic, and allowing positioning our clients in as an expert, because that's what they are in their field. And what started to happen is more eyeballs, more reads, because being digital marketers, we've also figured out how to pixel these articles. So we pixel the articles, we run traffic, and then we retarget the articles that were in Forbes with our offers. Boom. That alone right there could make someone 6 figures in the next 3 months. I guarantee it.
Wow. This is absolutely amazing. Rhonda, crazy. Thank you. I know this is a pure value bomb. So community, listen to that. It is the way to go. And I can tell from my own experience, literally, like, a few weeks ago, it was Disrupt, but I remember, and what you just explained, I remember, I think it was about 4 years ago, when I was running one of my previous companies, Homeless and Happy, which was going through a downturn. And then we've been featured on one of the biggest German brands for nomads at DNX. And it was just a featuring. and my fucking company exploded. You know, like
Exactly.
customers were just dropping in. I didn't even have to do marketing anymore. They came to me. And this was just like, you know, like little bit what you just explained. So if you're then in Forbes, if you're in Inc., if you're in Disrupt, if you're in the big ones, that makes so much sense. So community, listen to that. It is absolutely true. And I just dropped the link in the comments to your PR and media unstoppable branding agency. That's where you're going to find Rhonda. And that's where you actually can leverage, boom, next level to the moon, and working with experts, besides experts, and with people like Rhonda. So woo, I'm just blown away. You are so spot on.
Yeah, no, and I appreciate it. Thank you, because thank you for sharing that, because it is such a big deal. I mean, what's been happening, and this is the best part, because I work with so many speakers, right? And right now they're like, what am I going to do? I said, get yourself, let's get you featured in PR, and let's build a media kit for you. And they're like, what do you mean? I'm like, listen, just listen to me. Let's use layers. So I use tier 2 as layers. So there's like hundreds of thousands of tier 2 articles, right? Features. And then we get them into tier 1 spots. So we built these layers, and then we built a media kit that said, I'm a speaker. This is what I speak about. I've been featured in Forbes, featured here, featured in Disrupt, featured in Investor, featured here. I'd like to speak for you on your next summit or next year's event. I've had half of our clients getting already 100% yeses for the next open door stage event, and every single one of them getting 100% yeses on Summit podcasts. And these are high level podcasts. One of our clients just got on with Grant Cardone, he interviewed Brad Sugars, because it's the credibility piece again. It's not you, it's not your clients, it's actually the most credible source, which is Forbes and Entrepreneur. So it is such a big deal. And I am opening up. We have obviously we take applications. So you gave them the link. If you guys go there, you'll be able to read all about what we do. You'll see all of our proof. We guarantee what we do. I never would ever accept anyone as a client unless I can guarantee that I can get them published and get them into good PR. And if I can't, I'll say this is what you need to do to get there, right? And so if you do that, fill out an application, make sure that you say Ali or Nomadics, and I'll make sure that I'll take these calls as well. And I tell you, more and more people right now are realizing the power, but this is the difference. Not everyone has connections to tier 1, and we specialize in tier 1, right? Anyone can get into tier 2s. It's not, it's if you need it, so do it. However, the moment you can step up your game and just say, I've been in Forbes, it's magic.
Holy shit, that's so true. Wow, Rhonda, that's a massive value bomb, and it's an amazing work you guys are doing. So again, community, if you're watching it now, if you watch the replay, it's in the comments, the link to the agency where you get all the information, and you just heard it. Make sure you mention my name or you mention Nomad X. Rhonda is gonna take care about that, and she's gonna shoot you to the moon. That's the way to go. Rhonda, thank you so much for sharing. My heart is going to be like, boom, 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 boom. I'm so excited every time when we have a chat. I'm like, yeah. Rhonda, let me ask you one more question, because we're already a little bit over time, and I also don't want to take too much of your time because I know how busy you are. You got your wine. You're chilling. Rhonda, what can we future? Obviously, we're as you just mentioned, the world is facing a very tricky situation. Most people are going through different stages of uncertainty, don't know where to go next. I'm sure you don't, because you always have a plan. So what can we expect from the Unstoppable family next? What are your plans? What's your future forecast?
Thank you for that. Well, next year, Brian, my husband, the Unstoppable Surfer, he is planning his surf retreat for businessmen that love their life, love their wife, and want to surf epic waves and leave an impact on the world. So that'll be next year whenever it opens up at a 5-star resort. Of course, I'm planning that side of it all. He's planning the 5-star waves. And so that's coming from the Unstoppable Surfer. My daughter, Hannah Lay, she has a new book that's also coming out, from waiting to winning. And she is cracking the top off of everyone that's waiting to get something done. Because my 13-year-old, right, she's already past 6 figures. She's got a company. She just launched she already had a book 3 years ago. She just launched a coloring book the other day, right? And now she's got her new book. So that's coming out for my daughter. And then for myself, I'm also writing a book with 25 other women. It's an anthology called designed to lead, the DNA of the feminine leader. And we are still looking also, we've got about 4 or 5 spots for authors. And I'm looking to really help and inspire women that are doing big things, that have built businesses. They want to showcase their message to the world and inspire more women. And of course, my goal is to have over 10,000 qualified entrepreneurs featured in top tier magazines this year alone, right? So we're going to be hustling because Entrepreneur Forums and Inc., they want 1,200 new articles a day. That's how many eyeballs are a day.
Yeah.
They said, how many can you give me?
Wow.
I'm like, okay, I can give you one a day right now. Let's see what we can do.
Awesome. I love it. That's amazing. I'm absolutely loving it. Rhonda, I think if someone or if one family in the world deserves the name Unstoppable, it's you guys. The energy is massive. The plans are spot on the table. And I can just say, big thank you. Thank you for being a part of our community. Thank you for sharing the knowledge, dropping the value bombs. And I'm massively honored to know you, and I'm really stoked and excited to keep following you and to see what's coming next.
Thank you so much. It was really amazing to be here, everyone. I always leave you with this. If you're going to create a brand, create a sexy brand. And if you're going to be anything, be unstoppable.
Boom, 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 boom. I love it. Rhonda, all the best. Enjoy your wine. Take care. Happy weekend. We love you. Thank you very much.
Bye, everyone.